Mr. Herbert Matematico, Asian International Referee. Second referee, Ms. Joy De Imus, National Referee. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our defending champions, the Cignal HD Spikers. Let's begin with their team captain, who wears jersey number 8, John Paul Bugawan. At number 10, Wendell Concepcion Miguel. Wearing jersey number 11, Joshua Umandal. At number 13, Nastin Guaza. Number 16, Brian Bagunas. And number 19, Christian Silang. Starting libero is number 7, Vince Lorenzo. Head coach, Mr. Dexter Clamor. Calling on our Criss Cross King Crunchers. Team captain wear jersey number 8, Israel Wilson Marasigan. At number 4, Kim Malabunga. Wearing jersey number 5, Jude Garcia. At number 14, Esmilzo Joner Polvorosa. Number 15, Mark Jesus Espejo. And number 16, Giancarlo Glorioso. Starting libero is number 11, Juvie Mark Mangaring. Head coach, Mr. Anusorn, Coach Tai Bundit. This is game 1 of the finals for the gold. Season 7.
And here we go with your starters. Brian Bagunas with Cian Silang, JP Bugawan, Nastin Guasa, Jao Mandal, Wendell Miguel, and Vince Lorenzo for the Cignal HD Spikers. On the other side, Jude Garcia will play alongside Isay Marasigan, Gian Glorioso, Kim Malabunga, their middle, Ish Polvorosa, their setter, Mark Espejo, and Joey Mangaring as their starting libero. Are you ready, Coach Ronnie?
Anytime.
Here we go. We will start this matchup with Mark Espejo at the service area to begin Game 1 Finals in your 2024 Spikers Turf Open Conference. Here we go. First point is a soft touch, but it was saved by Ish Polvorosa. There's a net violation.
61 errors for these two teams last time that they met, and that was just a couple of days ago. Day 5 to be exact. Garcia off the block, but there will be a violation. Rather, that will be the first point for the King Crunchers. We're up right now here in set 1.
Oh, that's a good counter though. Always a good idea to activate your middle as early as you can in any game.
Established a point of attack at that spot to try and free up, of course, the excellent pin hitters for the HD Spikers. Game plan, very important. Execution, doubly important.
And these two teams have already engaged in 10 total sets so far, and it has been like this. Palitan lang ng palitan ng putos. No long rallies because of the loaded arsenal of both these squads.
We talk about loaded arsenal, you must be referring to Jude Garcia, who's second right now in terms of scoring at 182 points, and likewise third best in attack rate at 45% hitter.
Glorioso serving now. His team up 2-1. Jao Mandal finds the space between Polvorosa and Espejo to tie the contest anew at 2.
How many times do you see a team which has Brian Bagunas and Jao Mandal side by side? Teammates of the national team, teammates here for the HD Spikers, looking for a championship here in this conference. Ooh.
That one will be called out.
Mark Espejo played his best match for the Cignal HD Spikers and rescued this team really from the jaws of extinction after that reverse sweep. He had a 50% hitting clip, the best so far since his return to Manila.
Because if they lost that game in 3 or 4
Tapos.
sets, it would have been the Navigators Iloilo challenging the defending champions. The dig there coming from Garcia. From the back row, Espejo, slowed down by Guaza. And then Miguel easily picked up by Garcia. Marasigan could not hammer it home. One more try for Bagunas off the block, and he will score.
We always highlight the pin hitters, the middle blockers, but we never can discount the contributions of the defensive specialists. Montero Mangaring. Montero was the best libero in the first title chase for Cignal some years back. And they will be critical in the title campaigns, in the title hunt of these two teams, the HD Spikers and the King Crunchers.
Oh, that was a good quick from Malabunga. And Sandy Montero takes it square on the face.
Right. In comes Vince Lorenzo, also a national player. Look at the force and power. Malabunga angled at the middle to make sure that the blockers were not able to check that last shot. Remember that these are two of the best blocking teams in the competition as well.
Silang goes to Guaza. And he'll find a way to score.
8 players left the nest. That was the trigger for Guaza to come in. And boy, has he shown that he deserves this spot. First point for Guaza in a finals match.
Mighty serve. That's a service ace from Brian Bagunas.
So yes, sir, Brian Bagunas suddenly in the picture among the top 15 players in terms of scoring. Number 9 right now with 120 points delivered. 7th service ace so far for the pride of Batangas.
Another mighty serve coming from Bagunas, but it's picked up this time. Espejo daga, but no second touch possible. The big guns have come to fire off early in this match.
It's all about establishing your offense as early as possible. Yes, do some misdirection, but at the end of it all, porsyentuhan ng laban, you go to your top players, your best attackers.
Garcia with that serve, too strong. And I think this is where this game, the result of this game will be dictated. You can cancel out the attacks, even the blocking. But in terms of service errors, a team that can minimize theirs will have a great opportunity to win.
We saw what happened earlier in the match between the Navy Sea Lions and the Navigators. But eventually, they rescued themselves from a possible 5-set match. Talking about the Sea Lions, who had about 6 service errors in the last part of the 4th and final set.
Criss Cross King Crunchers will win the joust as the setter, Ish Polvorosa, connects with the point.
Getting the nod to start in their last match versus the HD Spikers. Also starting out here in the final series here in Game 1. Shoot, set, silang, straight to Bugawan. And that's the Tamarao connection for the 3-point lead for the HD Spikers.
First technical timeout of our opening set. It's a 3-point lead for the Cignal HD Spikers against Criss Cross.
Memorial Coliseum for your Spikers Turf 2024. It just became became a game of so much pressure for Criss Cross in the first set of that anticipated match. And so the boys talked to each other and said they would do better in 2, 3, and 4. They slowly picked up in the second set with a happier demeanor, better blockings. The setters just became more creative. They started being worried more about losing the finals than losing to Cignal. For today, they focused on the philosophy of the team mindset instead of the skills. They have a new chant. When Coach Tai says to infinity, they say and beyond. They needed to dig deeper and believe that they are champions individually. They just need to believe it as a whole. Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Mika Abrisamis. And now it's starting to look like the first set of their semifinals duel with the Cignal getting a bit of separation here of 4 points against Criss Cross.
Biggest lead here for the white shirts. The gold standard here in the Spikers turf. 6 championships all in all.
Jao Mandal with the serve. Oh, that's another ace, the second of the game for Cignal HD.
Just like that, they are ahead by 5. Number 5 in service aces with 9 heading to game 1 of the finals is Jao Mandal.
Timeout taken by the Criss Cross King Crunchers. And coach, we heard the report coming from Ms. Mika Abisamis that they're aware that they cannot feel too pressured in this first set. How do you think they could turn things around here and try to bridge the gap here as they're down by 5?
Receive better, that's one. Better net defense as well. And for you to be able to counter and transition well or launch your offense, then your reception has to be better. You have to keep that ball alive, and that's going to be essential right now as the King Crunchers are now behind by the biggest deficit, which stands at 5 at this stage of the first set.
Mentally, this is a good bounce back for Cignal HD after losing 3 straight sets, 3, 4, and 5 in their semis duel.
1-all, ika nga, head-to-head between these two elite teams.
Jao Mandal will continue to serve here. Oh, he will come up with a service error this time around. He tried to vary it up.
Right, went for a short serve. Mandal coming off a 15-point game on a 12 of 34 clip. And that 5-set loss just last May 5th.
Nish Polvorosa now serving. That will be a service error as well, too long from the setter.
At least 2 service errors in the set alone for Criss Cross. And when you are behind by this much, that cannot happen, or else mahirap i-overhaul kung paside outside out lang ang palitan.
It's now Wendell Miguel serving. One-handed set turns out to be another quick.
Played. Last time that these two teams met, Giancarlo Glorioso came off the bench in set number 2 and delivered 7 points. A quicker, we used to don the jersey of the Ateneo Blue Eagles in the UAP.
Glorioso giving us that last point, but another service error, this time for Marcus Pejo.
3 points given up by the blue and orange. Down 5 once again.
The team captain, JP Bugawan, embracing a new role for the Cignal HD Spikers. 3 points early in this matchup to try and add to this 5-point lead. Back set to Isay Marasigan. Dug up by Bugawan. Miguel still got to it, but Bugawan did not have the angle.
Tremendous effort defensively by Wendell Miguel, and that really is his primary role. We talk about Isay Marasigan, a former finals MVP, the former captain of the Cignal HD Spikers, moving to a different direction. Multiple champion here likewise in the Spikers too.
But Coach Ronnie, that kind of effort, even if you give up a point, your teammates see that.
Yes.
That could be contagious. And speaking of contagious, it's happening this time on the other side.
Magkatabi tayo nanood kanina sa Sirius, di ba? But one thing really nice about these two teams is that they bring in the crowd. They have elevated, talking about Brian Bagunas and Marcus Pejo, the landscape of men's volleyball in the country.
Garcia with a power hit.
And so was Jude Garcia. He was represented the Philippines in multiple Southeast Asian Games competitions and a multiple bronze medalist as well. Good first ball, leading to this point. Good misdirection. And then that line shot coming from Jude Garcia.
Marasigan ready to serve. His team down by 4. Float serve from Isai. Silang sets it up.
Wow.
And that is unstoppable from Brian Baguna.
Excellent reverse set coming from Silang. Again, an exchange of points. And that favors the HD Spikers. No scoring run here for the King Crunchers.
Basically hitting down on the blockers because he jumps so high. That will unfortunately bounce out for Brian Bagunas. Service error for him as well.
That's about 6'2". Decorated player during his prime in the UAAP. Who can forget about his collision course with Mark Espejo and the Ateneo Blue Eagles versus NU.
That's another point for Guasa.
And that's
the
another
middles
good
are
scoring
active.
option. First it was Bugawan. Now it's Guasa. Bugawan had 3 points earlier. Now Guasa second against the single block. Silang doing a fine job keeping in step against the veteran playmaker Inish Polvorosa.
And this has been the gap for Cignal HD, 15-10.
That's a big gap.
Guasa will serve. Good first ball. And Glorioso will score again.
Also activating the middle hitter. Ish Polvorosa. Better reception here.
Apologies, it was Malabunga who just checked in. So all of the 4 middle attackers have
Meron.
scored points, at least 2 apiece. That ball will be kept alive from the back row, soft touch. And now Marasigan. Oh, there's a net touch before that point. Will be scored on the attack by Marasigan.
Marasigan had 9 points in that 5-set loss last May 5th. His own version of a reverse set. Glorioso with the misdirection. Marasigan with a line shot. He down to 3 on a 2-point run for Criss Cross.
Wendell Miguel with a net touch. And that's an easy point for Mark Espejo on the over reception.
Overpass leading to a 3-point run.
Silang tried to rescue that ball, but he did not have the jumping ability or the length to beat out Espejo, who was out front. Timeout requested by the Cignal HD Spikers. They're holding on a 2-point lead, but here we go again. They establish a lead. Criss Cross staying stubborn, staying efficient now with their service. Have cut down their deficit to just 3.
And remember that this team overhauled a 2-set deficit. Right now, what they looked at earlier was a 5-point disadvantage. That has now been a thing of the past. Lead is at 2 for the HD Spikers. And Isay Marasigan is the second best scorer at present for Criss Cross.
And Teresa Gilas, the head channel management and programming of Cignal. And Sir Von Ga, channel manager for sports Cignal as well. 15-13 is the count. Now who will stop the bleeding? That is wide, no touch. And just like that, it's a 1-point deficit for Criss Cross.
A 4-point run here. Coach Dexter Clamor says, calm yourselves down. A former setter of the Cignal HD Spikers, now a 6-time champion here in the Spikers third.
Now they're a little bit tentative.
5-point
Criss
run.
Cross has tied the game at 15-all.
That was Kim Malabunga. Excellent placement. Miscommunication between the 2 receivers, Bagunas and Miguel.
Now you're looking for a leader coming from Cignal, someone who can stop the bleeding and get them back into their usual. Good save coming from Garcia. Polvorosa with the setup. Espejo takes the lead for the King Crunchers.
Can you believe it? 6-point run. Down at 15-10, a point away from the second technical timeout. Instead, it's the King Crunchers who gets to the second technical timeout ahead by 1 because of Mark Espejo, because of the rest of the King Crunchers.
Awesome live sports viewing is guaranteed with Cignal yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Switch now and get up to 3 months with no cash out. Visit cignal.tv/switch for more details. We're seeing some of the friendly faces inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum enjoying what has been an action-packed first set in game number 1 of the finals. Finally an answer from Cignal HD, and it comes courtesy of Wendell Miguel.
Stops a 6-point run. Ties the scoreline at 16 apiece. And it had to take Wendell Miguel to be able to extricate Cignal from suffering a slippery slope.
Double substitution for Coach Dexter Clamor.
That's right. Lloyd Josephat coming in, and another ace playmaker.
Yeah. Good serve coming from EJ. Marasigan overcooks it. That would be a little long. Lead shifts back to Cignal HD.
And that was wide open for Isay Marasigan. Just could not convert. Heading into this game, Marasigan had 101 points. One of only 11 players to score over 100 heading into the finals.
Another good serve. It is a chance ball now for the HD Spikers. And Bogawan will connect again.
It's very important for players to start. And the starter earlier was Silang. Gave them a big boost. They were ahead by 5. They lost the lead. Coach Dexter Clamor pushes another button. Brings in Casanya to try and give a different flavor. Variation offensively in terms of execution. 3-point run, 18-16 lead.
Espejo with a soft touch. Saw the gap in the defense. And there's no one there to go for the dig. 1-point deficit for Criss Cross.
97 points heading to this game. Over 100 right now for Mark Espejo. And you can see that Mark Espejo is in peak form right now. Here in game 1 of the finals after a 28-point performance on a 21 of 42 clip.
Polvorosa with the serve. Casanya goes to Bogawan again. It has to be the team captain who will stand and lead the Cignal HD.
It used to be Isay Marasigan was the captain of the HD Spikers. Now it's this young man. What about the jump set coming from Casanya with a lot of flair, but more than that restores another 2-point lead.
Feels like a luxury to have this 2-point lead right now. They go back to Glorioso, picked up. Espejo sends it back. There's a joust.
Oh,
and
nice.
then this is Glorioso scoring off that wild exchange.
Josephat losing vision. What about this tricky play earlier by Espejo and Marasigan? The Ateneo connection doing wonders. Glorioso, sneaky point. 1-point lead. Still stays for the HD Spikers.
Some serve goes through for Espejo. Go to Bagunas. Great effort from the libero. Glorioso sent back. Polvorosa with a one-hander. Garcia too close to the net. No angle to attack. He sends it out.
He tried to adjust. Tried his best to apply the break in midair. Just went off the mark. But tremendous effort on that broken play. Coming still from Jude Garcia.
JP Bogawan will look to extend this 2-point advantage for Cignal HD. Good block. Espejo is there for the dig. Garcia.
Oh, through the
powers
block.
one through.
Against the triple block. Garcia will not be denied. In terms of blocking, Criss Cross, second to none, 131 kill blocks. Heading to this game. Cignal, 104. At one time, King Crunchers were averaging 20 blocks per game.
Amy Bagala is serving. Casanya sets it up. Bagunas was slowed down. Garcia with a dig. Back row, Espejo ties the contest at 20.
Let me put it this way. If you cannot kill after your first attempt in transition more often than not, that will extract a point. And that was again against the triple block. No problem for Marcus Espejo. Oblivious to the triple block, but more than that ties the count at 20.
Bagalay will serve anew to break this deadlock. Guaza connects one more time, and he has been a difference maker here in the first set.
No finals jitters. Enjoying the moment. Savoring the floor time. Casanya once again. That quick set. That jump set. Guaza with at least 3. At least 3 points here in set 1. Bugawan probably 4. That's about 7 of the 21. Up 1.
Oh, but an ill-timed service error from Lloyd Josafat, as they will pull off the double substitution once again, with Zhao Mandal and Cian Silang coming back. Now it will be Criss Cross employing
Right.
their twin substitutions.
Another beach volleyball standout. Also, a bronze medalist in the Southeast Asian Games, Jaron Riquinton, formerly of UST.
And I was just watching Jewel Asia, one of the assistant coaches for the LaSalle Green Archers,
Ganito yan.
who unfortunately lost to the NU Bulldogs in their Final Four matchup
Samoa
earlier
lang.
today. Guaza with the save. They will go to Bagunas. Espejo picks it up. Riquinton could not connect. Back to Bagunas. He hammers it home.
Did not score earlier in 3 attempts. But when it's crunch time, when they need him the most, Bagunas will not disappoint. Call it a hammer. Call it a thunderous hit. Ryan Bagunas, so fun to watch.
Now he will serve his team up by 1. Pulled back on it. Espejo dives for it. Garcia couldn't connect just yet. Oh, this will be a chance ball. Malabunga with the pickup. Asia to Garcia. And this one scores.
Mandalos right there in front of Garcia. But Garcia will score against a single block. Tremendous effort coming from Jewel Asia. This is a historic moment, really. Monumental in men's volleyball here in the Philippines.
We might just be watching the birth of the golden age of
Agreed.
men's volleyball competitions. Wendell Miguel will get it through.
Both playmakers, very tricky, making the defense guess as to who they will activate. Do they go to the pin hitters? Do they go for the quickers? Will they go back row? And that's why in the last few sequences, walang double block, puro against the single block. 1 point lead, first to 23, as Mads Gampong.
Coming in for service purposes, Mads Gampong replacing Guaza.
Former Bulldog.
Pressure pack serve to try and build on this 1 point lead. Gampong
Oh,
sends it out. It is an enviable position
Yeah, really.
to be sent in this late in the set to serve.
coaches will
Glorioso.
always go with their gut feel, really.
Yeah. We'll check back in, replacing Penny Bagalay.
Who did well in a short stint.
Kim Malabunga ready to serve.
Had an ace earlier. 4 aces for this open conference. 3 before this match.
That is a service error as well. Oh boy. Nerves coming into play late in the first set. We are at set point for Cignal HD.
Adrenaline rush. The desire to win.
Zhao Mandal serving for the set. Will he load up on it or will he keep it safe? Loaded up on it. Good serve coming from Zhao. Espejo for the tie. He gets it.
Comandal loaded up on it. Marcus Espejo super loaded in that last point. Extended first set. Sign of things to come. Asia doing a fine job here. Running the offense of Criss Cross.
Are you even surprised that this first set, the very first set of game 1 of the finals, will see an extension 24 apiece with Polvorosa serving for the King Crunchers. Silang with a set. Bugawan connects again.
Excellent reception coming from Brian Bagunas. It was the target of Ishmael Moroso, a 5-time best setter in the UAP. But Silang holding his own. Look at the way Bugawan eludes the defense of Glorioso. Twisting, angling. For another set point for the HD Spikers.
Second chance to win this set. This time it's Wendell Miguel serving. They go back to Espejo. Cross-court kill.
And the chances of a single block containing Espejo really is nil at this stage. Because when Espejo gets to the final stage, he is going to be at peak form.
Mark Espejo will serve. Brian Bagunas with a soft touch. Yanked up by Marasigan. Garcia dug up by Umandal. Silang goes back to Bagunas.
Earlier, first ball from Bagunas. Now Umandal. Tremendous save. A much improved defensive specialist leading to this transition point by Bagunas. Look at that full swing.
Concussive power coming from Brian Bagunas will get them their third set point of our opener.
And these super athletes sometimes will think are breaking the laws of physics.
Kept it safe. That's a great block, and that wins the first set. Who had that in their bingo card? Who had Cignal scoring a kill block to end the first set?
Putting trust on Umandal to cover that line shot and tracing that angled hit coming from Jude Garcia. Well read. And as the smoke cleared, it was all about that one final offensive block to seal the deal for the HD Spikers.
27-25. First set belongs to Cignal HD.
Stupid lang. Sa pag-ibig ko sa'yo, ako'y bilanggo. Tumingin sa salamin na alalang nakalipas. Masakit palang maging balak butas.
Maulan ba sa inyo pag bumubuhos dito?
Raining in Manila? Raining in Manila, hindi ka ba nilalamig?
JP Bugawan, the team captain, newly installed for the Cignal HD Spikers, making sure that they will show fight and resolve in the opener as they take the lead against the Criss Cross King Crunchers.
Almost a slide in the last part of that set, but eventually steadied as the situational subs for Coach Dex Lamore worked for him to the hilt. And eventually, it took that offensive block by Criss Silang to be able to close the door on the rally hopes of Criss Cross to be able to finally get a set point na hindi nila nagawa. Pero magandang habol at nakalamang pa. Alang bahagya at 16-15.
So what's noticeable about that first set is the distribution of points for Cignal. A lot more balanced.
Yes, balansyado talaga. But no lead is safe in this matchup. We've seen that. We've been witnesses to that for 2 meetings that they have had so far.
We saw a 5-point lead erased quickly by the Criss Cross King Crunchers midway through that first set. We saw a 2-0 advantage erased like it was nothing in their semifinals duel by the King Crunchers as well. So you best believe that Cignal isn't feeling any comfort in holding this one-set advantage.
Parang ang hirap sabihin na may momentum yung isang team.
We begin the second set. Marasigan will send it out.
Would have been nice to see the error count for these two teams. 3-point given up by the blue shirts. Some service errors really hurt Criss Cross down the stretch as well.
Bugawan staying steady from the service area. Back row attack block. That's a kill block. Denying Espejo.
The best blocking team, as we mentioned, in their last match, last May 5. Criss Cross at 10 blocks. Cignal, 16.
And so many times in the past going one-on-one. Espejo and Bagunas. That time around, Bagunas comes away victorious. Marasigan denied. Bagunas on fire.
Won the first set with that excellent defensive stop. And here in set number 2, coming up with multiple block points. And anytime your number 1 offensive weapon works that hard defensively, there's no other recourse but to exert that same effort as well.
This one goes through. And finally an answer coming from Garcia, their first point of your second set.
3-point given up on an attack error and then 2 kill blocks for the HD Spikers before Jude Garcia says enough is enough. At least 5 in the match for Jude Garcia, the second leading scorer throughout this open conference.
Oh, that is a service error. As Injiga sees his first action of finals game 1, a 4-1, a 3-point advantage early for Cignal HD. But it is given right back to them by a service error as well coming from the setter Silang.
Jude Garcia, his second best. We talk about the number of aces delivered. Who's the top man? Criss Silang. He just had that service error.
Underhand set, Xiao Mandal. Picked up by the libero. Malabunga. Sent up by Lorenzo. Umandal with a set. Wendell Miguel. Oh, miscommunication on the defense. His block will go out. Another point for Criss Cross.
Trying to stay close. But when you talk about block attempts here for the HD Spikers, what has been constant and consistent for them to open up set number 2. Off the block point, meanwhile on the flip side for Criss Cross.
That is wide again for Wendell Miguel. Second error of this first set for the former Cignal team captain.
That was Marasigan with that service error.
Yeah, my apologies. That was Isay Marasigan with the second error of the set. Strong serve there coming from Bagunas. That one goes over. On the pickup from Silang, another block goes out. A net touch, though, will be called against Cignal.
Down the line, and then cross court for Jude Garcia making the adjustments. Scoring off the block on this play. You have to really make sure that you read the blockers well, because they are always in front of you.
Decent first ball to work with Wendell Miguel with a power hit.
through Polvorosa and Isay Marasigan. May not be the big name player like itong si Brian Bagunas, but definitely Wendell Miguel, a very important part in the title runs for the HD Spikers.
Guaza. Familiar jump serve. Received by Espejo. They go to the other side. That will be another attacking error against Isay Marasigan, but it will be challenged by Coach Taibundit. It will be a net touch challenge.
At this stage of the second set, over 50% of the total output of the HD Spikers have come from errors by Criss Cross.
So, was there a net touch coming from the defense of Cignal HD? But what we're seeing, Coach, right now is Criss Cross is trying to use the aggression of the blockers from Cignal to their own advantage.
Correct.
They're hitting it off the block now.
Kasi dun sila pinuntusan ng dalawang maaga. Two of the first 3 points of Cignal came from offensive blocks coming from Brian Bagunas.
Let's see now if the defense, the blocking was overly aggressive once again, leading to a net touch. Here we go with the review, the jump. Didn't look like there was anything, and that will be a no. Unsuccessful challenge coming from Criss Cross. Lead goes back to 3 for Cignal HD, 7-4. Guaza continues to serve. Polvorosa with a set. Malabunga sends it long. Another attacking error coming from Criss Cross will send us to our first technical timeout of the second set. And Cignal HD has doubled up on the Criss Cross King Crunchers, 8-4.
Coliseum for your Spiker Surf 2024. Lack of manpower was one of the main reasons for that loss of Cignal against Criss Cross. CNC lang did a great job at being a setter, but he really just needed more help. They needed a naturalized setter for him. Well, EJ Casania is back today, as we mentioned. They also adjusted with Josafat being an opposite today for length. These guys are just ready to be pulled out. Another thing they mentioned was that they allowed Criss Cross to have too much fun. So complacency is one of the major reminders for today. They need to be aggressive and on point every single set. When I was talking to Coach Dex, dumaan si Brian Bagunas kanina at biro niya, oh Brian, buti na lang yan ang rubber shoes mo, dapat mag 50 points ka dyan. But JP Bugawan seems like he is also wearing his lucky shoes today. Mark Calado is also back today after that unfortunate collision with EJ Casania during warm-up. Coach Dex hopes his complete lineup would be a big factor. Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Thank you so much for that report, Ms. Mika Besames. And while you were talking, a challenge was issued and it will be just out. That's maybe 1.5 inches on that serve coming from Guaza.
That stops a 3-point run. Good break here for the King Crunchers. We're just behind at 5-4, and suddenly, as we entered the first technical timeout, was down at 8-4.
So a couple of unsuccessful challenges already here in the second set. One apiece. We continue on. Amanda, that's a block this time. A kill from Espejo.
Espejo and Brian Bagunas showing us the kind of class that they have and why they have been a part of 2 championships One in Korea, the other in Taipei before heading to the Philippines.
Decent serve coming from Malabunga. Bugawan. Great dive coming from Garcia. Polvorosa gives up the chance ball. That will be called in. Lorenzo thought about it again. Decided to let it pass. It would be a mistake on the part of the libero.
3 straight points taken by Criss Cross, and Kim Malabunga has been there at the service line again and again.
Bagunas is denied from the back row. We're all tied up at 8. But coach, that error coming from Lorenzo has no space in the finals game 1. If there is even a remote chance that that ball could go in, you must keep it alive.
Correct. And that's why I mentioned earlier, critical libero play.
Oh, Miguel with a miss hit. And just like that, Criss Cross now ahead by 1. But a challenge is issued by Coach Dexter Clamor on a net touch violation against Criss Cross.
We're down at 8-5. Suddenly working harder with their net defense and returning the favor, as it was also in terms of offensive blocks that Cignal was able to get that early 3-0 run.
Coach Dexter feeling that even if it's early and he already had an unsuccessful challenge, that this is worth the risk.
And keep the momentum.
Exactly for that purpose. He wants to save a point for his squad and get the lead back. Pseudo timeout as well on the floor, as our technical officials are currently reviewing, looking at all the angles to determine if there was indeed a net touch. Here we go with the official review. Looks like there will also be no net touch. Another unsuccessful challenge on the side of Cignal HD. Now an early substitution as Casanya checks in for Silang,
who had that closing point to end an extended first set in their favor with the biggest offensive block in that initial set.
That will be out. Malabunga commits a service error. Tied at 9 apiece. Now it is Jao Mandal serving to break this deadlock. Mighty serve from Jao, but it is picked up. Polvorosa with a set. Espejo still manages to score.
Bugawan slowed it down, but the angle of that ball drop was away from the coverage. Look at this last play. Hassel coming, Ish Polvorosa. That ball ricocheted and just dropped.
That's too close. Espejo keeps it in play. Parasigan goes crossword, dug up by Umandal. Miguel will try, and he scores off the block.
Nice for Wendell Miguel off the block point. Their version. Wendell Miguel has been instrumental giving the Cignal HD Spikers an early lead. Now he pulls the trigger inside the count at 10. Deadlock number 4 at least here in set number 2.
Miguel serves. One hand set, and that is Injiga making his presence felt.
What about the save coming from Ish Polvorosa? That's a money shot coming from the 6 Chumason and Giga. Blockers on the descent, freeing up Chuma and Giga. Back to a 1-point lead for Criss Cross.
Mark Espejo serving his team up by 1. Bugawan could not respond. Isai goes cross court, picked up by Casanya. Lorenzo with a set. Bagunas with a throw down.
If you're here, seated where we are, you will be amazed at how Brian Bagunas and Marcus Pejo delivers their points of attack.
Sometimes you're also afraid for your safety.
Most of the time, especially during the pregame.
That's a net violation against Jude Garcia. That will shift the momentum and the lead to Cignal HD.
And at times it happens. We were used to getting the most touches when Marcus Pejo and Brian Bagunas were not yet around. But now you have to play with your ace hitter, with your top gun, and sacrifice a little bit of your offense. So nababawasan yung touches at minsan nawawala sa rhythm.
That will be called out against JP Bugawan. As we're back to a deadlock at 12 all. Simpson and Giga now serving for the King Crunchers. Waza overcooks it.
Out of sync.
AJ Casanya telling his hitter to slow down a bit. As they've now allowed the King Crunchers to get the lead back. Umandal sent back Guaza, couldn't connect. And that one was brushed off the block. Another point for Criss Cross.
Excellent adjustment coming from Jude Garcia. Beach volleyball maneuver delivered by the beach volleyball specialist, who's right now one of the best upon his return here in indoor volleyball. Biggest lead, second set, Criss Cross.
That will be too long coming from Injiga. Cignal HD Spikers looking for the tie. AJ Casanya serving. Oh, that's a great combination play as Jude Garcia scores again.
That was quick. Extremely swift for Jude Garcia. Another tricky play coming from Ishmael Vorosa.
When Guaza committed
Correct.
to Malabunga, that opened things up for Garcia.
Basta may misdirection talaga, may mau-open.
Guaza.
This one
to the hip.
This one earlier. Remember, he had multiple points in that set one win.
Yeah.
Instrumental together with Bugawan. This one earlier connects on this point. Lead down to one here for CKC.
Oh, that serve. But Ishpol Vorosang will keep it in play. From the back row, Bagunas will not be stopped.
A back row play that seems like a flank row kill. Brian Bagunas once again with the showcase. Guaza delaying the blockers.
One last point to play before we head on to our second technical timeout of this second set. Bagunas hits it straight into the net. A service error from Brian, and it will be the Criss Cross King Crunchers with a 16-15 lead as we head into this quick break.
Rizal Memorial Coliseum for your Spikers Turf 2024. Brian Bagunas, talk to me about his thoughts after losing to Criss Cross. Sabi niya, generally, I was frustrated we lost, but happy I stayed composed till the end and put out points. Before sleeping that night, he reviewed the game and he actually wanted to check how much more he could have helped. Imagine he had 38 points and yet thinking of more ways to help. That is a legit champion right there. He appreciates the help from Cap JB Bugawan today. Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Thank you so much for that report. The speaker of the Samis and Brian Bagunas has certainly shown us leadership qualities in this game on Arena Plus. Stigs Sports, welcome to the second set of this intense finals duel between the Cignal HD Spikers and the Criss Cross King Crunchers here inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Carlo Momentuan and Coach Johnny Magsanok on the call as we're tied at 16 apiece now with Lloyd Josafat serving for Cignal. He has another service error, had one earlier in the first set as well.
That hurts at this stage of the set. Comparative numbers between Bagunas and Espejo. Bagunas 5 of 13 for 38%. Espejo 8 of 13, better right now at 61%.
That will be the 7th service error coming from Cignal HD. Lorenzo, great effort to keep that ball in play. Off speed, picked up by Malabunga. Espejo, slowed down by the blockers. Casanya sets it up. Back row, Bagunas kept it short. That's a net touch. Before the point will be scored by Bagunas. Error coming from the King Crunchers.
Thumbprint of Wendell Miguel all over that last point. What about Brian Bagunas disguising a possible strong hit, going for that drop? Ties the count to 17.
Jao Mandal serving. Polvorosa to win jig.
Not exactly the best first ball, but that connection has given Criss Cross a lot of points at that spot.
But how about that adjustment coming from Coach Tai Mundin? And Jiga did not play in the first set. Now having a crucial role to help them lead by 1.
It was Gian Glorioso who started at that spot to open up this match.
Wandal will score another deadlock, 18-all.
Very nice to watch. Tish Polvorosa, Casanya, Twist Silang, Jewel Asia with their magic. Two of the best blocking teams, and these playmakers have to be at their excellent form in this final series.
That one will go off the block and out for Marcus Espejo. Criss Cross just doing enough to keep their heads above water, allowing the tie, but quickly responding.
And this can already be the national pool for the national
Absolutely.
team. What a serve.
But Bagunas still finds a way with Casanya setting it up for him.
Right. Tremendous rescue coming from EJ Casanya. Shaky first ball, but no problem. Brian Bagunas making sure that they stay toe-to-toe. First to get to point number 20 coming up shortly.
And that will be the theme of this entire series. Polvorosa with another good set. Garcia hammers it home. They take the lead, 2019.
Before the first midpoint, there were a lot of offensive blocks from both teams. But right now, the onus really is on the blocker simply because time and again, nakakalusot, nabubutasan, at napapatayan.
Vet Femi Bagala is sent back for serving purposes. Casanya will go back to Bagunas. Goes cross court, that's wide.
Looking for a cut shot.
Timeout requested by Cignal HD as This feels like a luxury right now to have a 2-point lead against Cignal.
Exactly. HD Spikers have to respond right now because hindi naghahabol dito. Ang CKC, sila ang tumatrangko sa dulo.
No, Cignal HD Spikers in this stretch have not scored back-to-back points. Yes, they can level, but then they always give one back. And now, that's 2 straight points connected by the King Crunchers.
Kanina pa tayo palitan ng side out eh.
It is now up to them to also score a string of points to be able to get back into this matchup. Guaza about to check back in, replacing Josafat with Bagalay serving anew. Jao Mandal gets one back.
They needed that. Excellent reception, the point coming from Jao Mandal. Back set against the single block. So kung mapapansin mo, bihirang-bihira na lumalabas yung double block ngayon.
Polvorosa with a set. That's a quick picked up by Casanya. Jao Mandal crashing over the table into the first row, and that's the kind of effort that you expect coming from their best player.
Unbelievable effort coming from Jao Mandal. And if that is what it takes to bring home the gold, then so be it. Reigning MVP, PNBF champion.
You know, that is a statement coming from Jao Mandal to the rest of his team that it would take this, perhaps even more, to win this match against the Criss Cross King Crunchers, who now lead by 2 here, 22-20.
So, pag-ayos na yung monitor natin.
Jewel Asia serving. Umandal, how about that?
How about Casanya? How about that, really? I'm sure that there was some sting after that nasty fall. But that is a warrior in Jao Umandal, showing us the stuff that he's made of.
Bagunas, that will be called out. Just a little bit long, as it's back to a 2-point lead for the King Crunchers, 23-21.
That was a crucial miss.
Jude Garcia with the serve. Casanya with a set. Miguel keeps it. That's a 1-point deficit for Cignal HD.
With Brian Bagunas at the back row, that was the turn for Wendell Miguel to help out offensively, and boy did he score a crucial point on that cross-court delivery.
Serving to try and tie this matchup is Guaza. Asia with a set. That's a big block. Back-to-back points for Wendell Miguel.
It was a while since I've seen an offensive block. They started with that to open up set number 2, and they close it out again the way they did in set number 1, tied at 23.
It will go down to the wire once again, just like the first set, just like every other match that has been played between the Cignal HD Spikers and the Criss Cross King Crunchers. That is how good they are going up against each other, budding rivals in their first brush against each other here in the Open Conference.
And that is also how evenly matched these two teams are. One team, owner of 6 championships in the Spikers turf, and that is the HD Spikers. The other, the new kids on the block. 8 players from the HD Spikers have moved over to the other team.
$23 apiece. First time in a long while for Cignal to score back-to-back points, as they've managed to tie the contest once again. Guasa with the serve. Loaded up on it. Asia to Espejo. Block. Save. Garcia with the dig. And now Asia will send it across. Chance ball for Cignal. They go to Wendell Miguel, who was dug up. There's a joust. It goes through Espejo with a pickup. Mark Espejo goes through the blocks.
That was a point waiting to happen for the HD Spikers. But in transition, after that long rally, Mark Espejo will prevail. That joust was the chance to go for their first set point. Instead, Espejo turns it into a set point for Criss Cross.
A timeout requested by Coach Dexter Clamore to try and ice the server. That is Kim Malabunga, who has committed a couple of service errors earlier. Had an ace also. But this is a try to save this second set for Cignal HD, who are down right now, where the King Crunchers at set point. Thoroughly entertained fans, but all anxious because of what's at stake here. A 1-0 advantage in this best-of-3 series is up for grabs. If you're still in the area and you're listening to us right now, we do invite you to come over, because, I mean, how can you not
And this match,
try and watch this live?
This match will take a while.
Might take us all night. As Kim Malabunga will now serve for the set. 10 points already for Marcus Espejo. Malabunga serving. Kept it safe. Casanya goes to Bagunas. That's a soft touch. Good chance here for the King Crunchers. And that will be a point for Brian Bagunas. With the King Crunchers tying this match at 1 set apiece.
What about Mark Espejo's clutch plays? 2 big plays, 2 big points for the man known as the Phenom in his championship years with Ateneo in the UAP.
That might have been on its way out, but Brian Bagunas could not get out of the way, as the matchup is level. 27-25 for Cignal in the first, 25-23 for Criss Cross in the second. Check back with us for the third set when we come back.
Narda, sumabay sa hangin, ako'y napatingin. Jopay, Dadalhin kita sa aming bahay. Tayo.
Kim Malabunga and the rest of the Criss Cross King Crunchers leveling this matchup at 1 set apiece. That was another tremendous exchange, but this time no extension of the set. Criss Cross closing it out.
The Cignal HD Spikers started out this set number 2 with a 3-0 lead. However, Marcus Pejo, Jude Garcia making sure that they did not fall behind by a huge deficit. Eventually, they would overtake itong Cignal HD Spikers at 9-8 after giving up an 8-6 disadvantage heading to the first technical timeout. Brian Bagunas was once again amazing with some early offensive blocks. However, at the midpoint, the tide changed. Marcus Pejo started to take over. Ish Polvorosa also had some heady plays once again. Kim Malabunga key points. In the end, after all that was said and done, even with the heroic plays coming from Jao Mandal, there was no denying that it was a better end game for the King Crunchers. And CHD, or the HD Spikers, lapsed into more errors, none bigger than those service errors that hurt their chances of protecting that lead that they had early on.
So errors will have to be cut down by the Cignal HD Spikers, as they will try to recover here to start our third set. And we thank you for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. Carlo Pamintuan and Coach Ronnie Magsanok on the call for Game 1 of the finals. This is the start of the third set. Marcus Pejo will serve to open.
12 points so far for Marcus Pejo. Jude Garcia with 10.
That will be a little bit too long for Espejo.
Espejo is at a level of 18 right now for 61% offensively.
For the third straight time, no? The set will be opened by an error coming from Criss Cross. But it's really not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
Which
this
is
time
what we
around,
saw.
the blocking.
What we saw in the first 2 sets. The stronger finishing kick. Straight to the open.
Yeah.
Jude Garcia has been productive now with 11 points. 20 points last time that these two teams met, behind the 28 of Marcus Pejo, just last May 5th.
That was a tentative play coming from Criss Cross. Jao Mandal beats them with a soft touch.
With this guys faking the line shot. Jao Mandal, meanwhile, at 15 points. In that critical win for the HD Spikers that saved the season for them. Rather, that 5-set loss in their golden chance to eliminate itong Criss Cross.
No, bit of a missing link for Cignal HD. Might be JP Bugawan in that second set, but this will be another point for Cignal HD, as somehow that got through the defense. Almost a point.
How about that save by Omandal? As Jude Garcia stayed from a possible overreach, only to see that balls drop and score for the HD Spikers.
What a break for Cignal HD, but again, it was an effort play coming from Jao Mandal, as they race to a 4-0 advantage here in your third set. But with what we've seen, Criss Cross has the ability to come back quickly from 4 5-point leads. They've already shown that in the first 2 sets.
Correct. In the first set, they almost stole that set away from the HD Spikers. In the second set, it was an early rally that turned out to be something that they needed to be able to stay ahead and eventually win that second set at 25-23.
Seeing Joey Prado, Majoy Baron, Rachel Rostero,
Team captain,
Jules Samonte, and Nico Ortiz of the PLDT squad, joining the festivities here inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Good pickup coming from Bugawan. Mandal will give Criss Cross a chance ball. Espejo from the back row, dug up by Miguel. Great angle. Coming from Bagunas. 5-0 start for Cignal.
Excellent read by Brian Bagunas. Teamwork also shown by Umandal and Bagunas. Earlier, off speed coming from Jao Mandal. Now, it's the turn of Brian Bagunas to deliver this soft hit for a 5-point lead. 5-point run to open up set number 3.
Dahil sa taas ng respeto ni Jude Garcia, no? Sa lakas ni Bagunas, he took a couple of steps back.
Atras ka talaga. Oo.
For Cignal.
But now this is a 6-0 start for Cignal HD.
Best start after a 3-0 opening of set number 2.
Service. Bugawan.
With Bugawan still serving here, the team captain for the HD Spikers. Garcia finally delivers the first point for Criss Cross here, the third.
Against Bugawan.
King Crunchers get their first point.
In that 5-set loss, or in that loss by Criss Cross to Iloilo, it was the only game that I saw Jude Garcia really struggle offensively. But this is the Jude Garcia that took the Spikers third by storm from his first game onwards. He was one of the best.
Back row attack. Dug up by Polvorosa. And sent over now, but it might be too long.
Ball's out.
Lorenzo read it correctly this time.
Right. Miguel was right beside Vince Lorenzo. Let that ball sail out.
7-1. Strong start for Cignal.
Very strong start.
Quick will be called in for Malabunga. Will they challenge? Yes, they will.
And there's a challenge. Floor by Cignal.
There will be a
Ball in,
challenge
ball out.
coming from Coach Texter
Challenge
Clamor.
number 1. Ball in, ball out. Cignal.
A ball in, ball out challenge. Had a couple of unsuccessful ones in the second set. Let's see if the vibes will change when it comes to their challenges. Ball in, ball out, and looks like it will bounce in. Definitely on the line there for Kim Malabunga.
Coach Dexter Camor biting the bullet. Early challenge.
Unsuccessful.
Still ahead
Criss Cross gets their second point. And
by
the
5
third.
points at 7-2.
Isay Marasigan, team captain, serving.
Team captain Isay Marasigan now serving. Float serve for Isay. Silang with the set. Mandal picked up by Malabunga. Polvorosa sets up Garcia. That is going to be called
Falls out.
a point for Cignal.
Ball
But
out.
hitting on
challenge.
review.
There's a challenge on the court. Correction, challenge.
Owning up to that block
Withdrawn.
touch was the HD Spikers.
Block touch admitted by Cignal. 3-7.
So no need for the challenge.
Right. First 2-point run here in this set.
Service. Marasigan.
Can Cignal defuse this possible uprising here coming from Criss Cross?
They've had good starts so far in the first 3 sets. And that will
Down the
connect
line,
for Jao
Mandal.
Mandal. And it will push us to our first technical timeout of the third set. An 8-3 advantage. A 5-point lead for the Cignal HD
First technical
Spikers.
timeout. 8. Cignal. 3.
The supporting roles of Jao Mandal and Jude Garcia certainly effective here in this matchup. Here in game 1 of the finals, 10 points already for Chao Mandal, 11 coming from Jude Garcia. And they've done their best really from the main backup to Brian Bagunas and Mark Espejo leading their respective squads. Garcia, we were just talking about him, point number 12.
On cue, they were the top guns for their respective teams prior to the arrival of Brian Bagunas and Mark Espejo. And with more touches, Jude Garcia has more chances, but more than that, he's trying to rally his team. We're behind earlier by 6, now down by 4 here in set number 3.
Miguel won't score just yet. Silang with a set. Guaza has been effective and efficient in the few touches that he has picked up.
4 points heading into the set, now with 5. Had 3 in that first set win. Guaza, very efficient. Has hardly missed at that spot. Up 5 once again here in set number 3. Cignal HD Spikers.
That's a nice quick. And he will find the corner. Kim Malabunga scoring again.
Earlier it was Guasa, now it's Kim Malabunga. I'd just like to point out that in terms of playmaking, Coach Dexter has alternated his playmakers. On the other side, halos si Ish Polvorosa ang nakadiin dito up to this point of the match. Although pumasok naman ng bahagya si Jewel Asia.
On the double substitution, yung magkapatong na atake, epektibo para sa Cignal HD as Chao Mandal scores point number 11.
Excellent play run by Criss Silang. This play, misdirection by, was that Bugawan? Yes. Wendell Miguel. But definitely there was a decoy move to free up Chao
Kahit
Mandal.
tayo na decoy.
Ang bilis eh. Kabilis.
Back to 5-point lead. Nice serve there. And Espejo will hammer it home.
Espejo through the block. 6.
Hammer indeed. 13 for Espejo. Heading to his third set. Again, that misdirection this time coming from Shumasun and Giga. Breaking the 2-man block.
Ish Polvorosa.
Time for the big guns to start making noise once again. Ish Polvorosa serving. They go to the quick.
Bugawan.
We were looking for him.
Angle.
JP Bugawan
11-6.
was loud in the first set. A little bit quiet in the second. Now delivers this point to extend their lead to 5 points once again.
And you said that he was a missing link in that set 2 loss. But so was Guasa. And these were the spots, or this was the spot that Cignal activated early on in that set 1 win.
For Criss Cross.
That's a service error though coming from Miguel. That
This
will
is
be
what
number
killed
8.
them in that set 2 loss.
Mark Espejo. Serving for the King
Oh,
Crunchers.
Bugawan is 0 out of 5 in that set 2 loss.
He's not 0 out of 5 now. He's 2 for 2.
12-7.
That's why they are ahead once again by 5.
And the team captain JP Bugawan standing tall now as they extend their lead back up to 5. 7 total points for JP. Good first ball. And Jigha is sent back by Bugawan. Garcia.
Garcia over the block. 8. Serving 12. Substitution. Criss Cross. 12 out.
This time it's Giga.
Again, yep.
Yep. Extracting Guaza. Leaving itong si Jude Garcia with Silang in front of him.
Now another substitution coming from Coach Tai Bundit as Rex Intal sees his first action and he overcooks the serve.
That goes long. 13-8.
And we saw Mats Gampong put in a similar situation earlier.
Right.
Now it is Rex Intal when you're cold off that corner.
Also former national player.
For the HD Spikers.
Also former HD Spiker.
Also a service error.
Ball
for
is out.
Silang as he donates a point
9
to the King Crunchers.
And they have to be wary of this fact that these errors are keeping the King Crunchers in the hunt.
Team captain.
Service errors total for these two teams, 22 combined. 12 for the White Shirts, 10 for the King Crunchers. Oh,
Brian Bagunas was roof.
Garcia to Bagunas.
It was Jude Garcia
10
with a kill
to
block.
13.
this time Guaza will not be able to get Malabunga to bite. Instead, Garcia will register his 34th block. Number 1 blocker, the only blocker with this much in terms of offensive blocks throughout the competition.
Jao Mandal goes
Ooh,
cross scored and he stares
Umandal.
down the entire Criss Cross
14
squad.
to 10.
Catch me if you can, says Jao Mandal. What that heroic play earlier.
Brian Bagunas.
Silang, quick set.
Serving for the HD Spikers.
That will sail out
Ball is
long
out.
coming from Brian Bagunas.
11 to 14.
And when it comes to that jump serve, yes, it is powerful, but you can also miscalculate a bit
Garcia. Serving for
and
Criss
lead to a
Cross.
service error. 14-11, 3-point lead for Cignal HD.
Smart.
On the hit out, Miguel.
I like the back pedal move coming from Wendell Miguel.
Tagal nung sulyapan ni Wendell Miguel.
What about that
tsaka
judgment in
Polvorosa.
midair? It was a broken play already, pero nagawa ng paraan ni Wendell Miguel for another 4-point lead.
Serving for Cignal.
Scoring off H. Polvorosa.
Another jump server, Guaza will put this ball in play.
And another service error.
12 to 15.
14 service errors for the HD Spikers. Will this haunt them late in the set?
Tim Malabunga. Serving for the King Crunchers.
Malabunga, who has been very steady here in this matchup, will serve. Over receive. Oh, that falls on the same side for Espejo.
Espejo succeeds.
But they
at
recover
second try.
and connect
13
anyway.
15.
Wasn't pretty, but it's a point.
And that's all that counts. This was the first miss.
That's the thing.
That was H. Polvorosa
Yep.
with that bump set.
Malabunga.
And the defense thought that that point was going to end in their favor. Nobody reacted. Defense was quite slow.
Oh, now the blocking.
Says in time.
The blocking
Miguel.
of the King Crunchers starting to bite.
Tangala.
This is what I was trying to point out earlier. The service errors might haunt you. Those are 3 points given up.
We told you about the long stare down between Miguel and Polvorosa earlier. They will shake hands, but boy, action is heating up here in the third set.
Composure is always important. Keeping your eyes on the task at hand.
Friendships could wait until after the series. They're on pause right now. Malabunga with the serve. Oh, Brian
From the
Bagunas answers for Cignal HD, and they will take a 2-point lead, 16-14, heading into the second technical timeout of this third set.
Second technical timeout. 16.
Rizal Memorial Coliseum for your Spikers Turf 2024. After winning against Cignal in the semis, the celebration of Criss Cross was light practice, an adjusted schedule, but still the next day. Coach Tai, I guess, he gives small wins, but not enough to forget about the bigger goal, which is happening now, complacency being an issue. For the remaining sets, number 1, tibayan daw ang first attack. Doon daw sila nakakakuha ng rhythm. And second, hard serve to avoid the middle of a Cignal. They have to keep up with the HD Spikers. Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Thank you so much for that report, Ms. Mika. As we're all set to continue this third set with the Cignal HD Spikers leading 16-14. Have a bit of a delay here as our officials sorting things out before we get the action going again.
Serving for Cignal.
Sanya with the serve. This is Espejo.
Down the
So it's the
line,
superstars
Espejo.
right now trying to take the lead
15,
for their respective squads.
Espejo is in the front row, and that's double trouble right now for the HD Spikers, who are trying to regain their presence at the net, and that's something that has to come out here for the Cignal HD Spikers. Their lead from a high of 6 just down to 1.
Sharp serve coming from Polvorosa. That's an ace.
Down 6-0. Their own version of a 16-10 counter.
And that's the thing about the service of Polvorosa. It will not be the most powerful, but he knows how to work the angles.
Saka alam niya kung kanino talaga dadalhin. Oops.
It's very, very short this time
A little too short.
as he gives the point back to Cignal HD.
One set all.
Serving for the HD.
And 7:25 Cignal, 25-23 for Criss Cross earlier.
That will be a point for Criss
It's a net
Cross.
touch.
That's a net touch
Called on Bugawa.
against Cignal HD. Coach Dexter asked if if Bugawan wanted the challenge. JP said not right now.
Tatawa ako dun sa palitan ng emotions eh.
Mark Espejo.
So the point will hold for Criss Cross. 17 apiece, another tie. After that horrible start, right back into this.
Bagunas!
Let's JP Bugawan now it's his turn to stare down the defense.
I don't know about that part of the playing court. That side, the left side for the AC Spikers, and the right one for Criss Cross. Because every time a point is scored, from that point,
JP Bugawa, team captain.
merong sukli
Serving for Cignal.
na dumarating. 1 point lead on that nice down the line point delivered by Brian Bagunas.
That's a quick response
In foul.
coming from Criss Cross.
We're tied up.
Everybody's fired up.
Converting.
Everybody's fired up. Excellent first ball coming from Suma. Leading to that quick set for Rexental. Off the bench scoring, no problem for Rexental.
18-18, and expect this to be a crawl once again to 25 like the first two. Bagunas!
Bagunas! Cross-court shot. 19-18. Substitution. Cignal.
Okay,
We really don't have to say much about this
Okay.
game, though.
okay.
In.
The story-
19-18, that's
the
it.
story writes
Six
itself
out. 19.
with the
Cignal.
points and the looks. Cignal HD back ahead by 1. And now our official, Herbert Matematico, calling the team captains. And telling them to calm yourselves down. Keep it about volleyball as we resume action. This is Silang about to serve.
Entertaining match.
Absolutely. Polvorosa with a set. Garcia picked up. Miguel keeps it in play. Chance ball though for the King Crunchers. The runner. Oh, that's a net violation for Marasigan.
Bugawan had one earlier.
20-18.
Now it's Marasigan's turn to commit that infraction. 2-point lead once again for the HD Spikers.
Again, to have a 2-point lead late in the set, a luxury with how tight this contest has been in the first three. Only 2 points separated both these teams in the first and second, and Garcia will inch them closer.
Through the block point coming from Jude Garcia. Jude Garcia earlier, 14 of 25, 56%. Umandal at 50% at 10 of 20. The second best scorers also giving their share.
Marasigan to serve. One hand set. Bugawan pushes. It's kept alive. Garcia rescues the play. Silang with a set. Back to Bugawan. Off the block and out.
Out. Bagunas.
Guasa wanted it.
21.
But Criss Silang says, Brian Bagunas. Brian Bagunas. Brian Bagunas. 2-point lead. What about that one-hand save coming from Jude Garcia?
Brian Bagunas.
Pag umere si Bagunas, nangingibabaw.
Oh, but another ill-timed service error. Coming from Brian Bagunas. He's had a couple of them here in the third set.
Ace Polvorosa enjoying that last point.
You celebrate each point that you don't have to work hard for in this matchup. As Jude Garcia's turn now to serve. Quick response from Cignal back to a 2-point lead.
22-20.
Give him one at the open. He'll put it away. Pipe play. He'll take care of it. Finishing kick. And this is where the marquee players go harder at work. Silang has been excellent on point here.
Oh, I like this coming from Coach Dexter Clamor.
Giving Josephat another chance.
2 errors on the service area. But you give your player a chance to prove themselves, to learn, and to really test their mettle. Pressure pack serve. It is in for Josephat. Espejo off the block. A kill.
Espejo. 21-22.
Crawling and tight once again. Better finishing kick, better end game. For a 1-set lead. 1-point cushion for Cignal, if you may call it, at 22-21.
Malabunga with the serve. Silang goes to the back. That is in.
Back row attack.
Another pipe delivery coming from Brian Bagunas has scored. Has been perfect in the last 3 attempts. Hindi nga kumagat yung mga blockers dun sa misdirection ni Bugawan, but still.
Triple block committed. Triple block defeated by Brian Bagunas. Xiao Mandal with a serve.
Oh.
Oh, that's blocked. Denied. Big time denial coming from Wendell Miguel. And that will send them into set point.
3 set points, to be exact.
The slide play, a signature coming from Rex Intal, but that time around, Wendell Miguel was ready for it. Timeout requested by Coach Tai Bundit. And Cignal will have 3 opportunities to win this third set and go up 2-1 against the King Crunchers.
Big offensive block coming from Wendell Miguel. Backstopping 3 late points coming from Brian Bagunas for a 3-point lead for 3 set points and for the chance to stay ahead once again by a set.
Xiao Mandal will do the honors. And question is, will he load up? Will he keep it safe? Let's wait and see. Pulled back a bit on the power, over receive, and that is a point for the team captain, JP Bugawan. As Cignal HD takes a 25-21 third set to go up 2-1 in game number 1.
Brian Bagunas closed out in set 1 to the Cignal HD Spikers. It was Marquez Perro's turn for Criss Cross in that set to win. And once again, Brian Bagunas reprising his excellence and needing a lot of help from the rest of the Cignal HD Spikers, courtesy, of course, of Bugawan and Wendell Miguel.
Cignal HD winning the first and the third, fourth set coming right up.
Jopay, wag ka nang mawala. So, dadalhin kita sa aking
Sumabay sa hangin, ako'y napatingin.
Narda, napapansin kaya sa dami ng iyong ginagawa. Yun lang.
It's a 2-1 advantage for the Cignal HD Spikers as we check out some of the highlights in that eventful third set. Cignal got off to a tremendous start, but as expected, Criss Cross climbed their way back into it, and we're actually in a good position to try and steal that one away. But Cignal proved steadier in the end game. JP Bugawan, Wendell Miguel helping out Brian Bagunas as they were able to pick up the much-needed crucial points to wrap that third set up. As you take a look at the statistics, overwhelming attack numbers for Cignal HD.
Exactly, and this is where Marquez Pejo was missing. Jude Garcia delivered. Marquez Pejo was not able to, especially in the last part of that set. More errors for the HD Spikers, especially from the service line, but eventually big plays by Brian Bagunas and better execution for Criss Silang enabled Cignal HD Spikers from escape. Enabled the Cignal HD Spikers to escape once again that uprising that was intended to be imposed on them by the King Crunchers.
It's all about minimizing those errors for Cignal HD because the attacking is on point. As you take a look at the leading scorers, Brian Bagunas, 18 points in the matchup. On the other side, it's actually Jude Garcia leading the charge for the King Crunchers.
As Espeo just could score 2 points in the third set loss after coming up with 12 in the first 2 sets. Now was 14. Bagunas with 7th third set points.
But the barometer really has been JP Bugawan. Had 5 points in the first set.
None in set
0
2.
in the second, 4 in the third.
For the first time, Criss Cross will have the first point. Tama ba tayo? To open up a set.
Coach Dexter Glamore deciding not to call the challenge this early and just allow the King Crunchers to score the first point. Again, 11 errors that will have to be checked by the Cignal HD Spikers. Nilagay na lang ni Bugawan.
With adjustment coming from Bugawan as Silang lost his footing. The Tamaraw connection once again. And that was a shoot set delivered by Silang.
Into Bugawa. Team captain. Serving for Cignal.
From the pipe, 5 of 8 for Bagunas at 63%. 12-7 for 29%.
Left touch.
Left touch.
But Coach Taibundit has now decided to re-employ Glorioso. Pulls out Rex Intal. So action a lot in that second set and even in the third.
We saw Jen Glorioso start this contest for Coach Taibundit.
Service. Bugawa.
Has been rifling them in and out. Glorioso, Njigha, Rex Intal finding the right combination. Garcia dug up. Bagunas will also be dug up. And now a chance ball for Cignal HD. Silang to Guaza.
Guaza.
What about Jao Mandal once again, a much improved defensive player. Helping out Chris Silang once again with that shoot set, this time for Guaza. Beating Glorioso. Good scoring run here for a team that gave up the first point to open up set number 4. 3-point run here for the white shirts.
Good serve coming from Bugawan. That was slowed down by the blockers. Silang goes to Mandal. That's a rocket.
Mandal down the line.
HD Spikers won the first 2 sets last May 5th. Dropped the last 3. And that win gave Criss Cross the ticket here in the finals. Just could not eliminate Criss Cross. Destined to meet perhaps, but right now Cignal learning their lessons. For their lesson now, trying to close out here in set 4.
Polvorosa with a one-hander.
Tough.
That is tremendous effort coming from the setter.
Off the handle.
What about Espejo?
Bugawa.
Seeing that his team is right now on their heels. Strikes from the back. 3 of 8 from the back row for Espejo. 5 of 8 for Bagunas.
Team captain, Simon Marasigan.
Marasigan
Serving for Criss Cross.
now serving. Float serve. They got that quickly. And Brian Bagunas
Quick attack.
so quick from the pickup to the attack to the point. And now they lead by 3.
Silang again doing a wonderful job keeping the blockers at bay.
That block will sail out in favor of the Criss Cross King Crunchers. Jude Garcia leading this squad right now.
That's right. 15 heading to this set. Their leading scorer, second best right now, heading to game 1 of the finals.
Jude Garcia. Serving for the King Crunchers.
Mandal sent back. Bagunas was right there. Bagunas. This one goes out.
On the hit-out.
Cignal extends their lead back up to 3. Espejo a little bit slow to get up. It looks like he will be able to shake it off and compete again.
38 points on 34 spikes, 3 blocks and an ace at 58%
Brian Bagunas.
clip last time that they met. 82 points heading to this match. Yan lang ang Achilles heel ngayon ni Brian Bagunas.
Another service error for Cignal HD. Again, that they're trying to cut down on those 11 errors that they committed in the third set.
Marcus Peo, Brian Bagunas join forces to help the country stop a 42-year finals drought in 2019 to end up as the silver medalists in the Southeast Asian Games in Manila.
Guaza
Turned
grouping the
back by
attack
Guaza.
of Criss Cross. Again, it was so apparent, Coach Ronnie, that even if this is his first time to play in the Spikers Turf Finals, he was on point.
Yes.
He was ready for this moment.
Oblivious to the pressure, and it has shown. Has played well from the opening set all the way here to the fourth.
Good serve from Guaza. Espejo. That's off the block.
Make no mistake about it. Ish Polvorosa will continue to go to Espejo
Absolutely.
here in the fourth set for them to be able to survive and stay afloat.
It has been heavy on Garcia and Espejo, the offense of Criss Cross. Cignal HD with a little bit more balance with Bagunas and Umandal leading, but Bugawan and Miguel are right there. Just a shade behind double digits. That's Umandal sent back. This will be a joust. Espejo with a pickup. Polvorosa with a set. Marasigan try to wipe it off Miguel. Wendell will get it through.
Into the block.
It's all about effort for Wendell Miguel. A big-time two-way player. Miguel with 6 points heading into this set. Scores another important one. First technical timeout, fourth set. On 9 point for Wendell Miguel. 8-5 lead para sa Cignal HD Spikers.
Memorial Coliseum for your Spikers Surf 2024. After that cross of Jao Mandal from the court to the panels table, I asked if he was okay and ready for more, and he said, mamaya ng aray, kailangan nila ng tulong ko, lalo na ni Brian. Jao with 41 points in their last match. He also said nawala yung instincts niya in the third and fourth sets last match, so he will make sure he is on point till the end this time. Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Eh kami, di mo tatanungin, Mika. No, we're fine. The full season of the association is here. Watch the 2024 NBA playoffs on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, and Pilipinas Live. Hashtag everything counts. Hashtag NBA on Cignal.
Comparative numbers, that's a hitting rate, 45 of 90 at 50%. Cignal HD Spikers as Espejo. Wow. Finding the scene in that two-man block. 41 of 94 meanwhile, prior to that point coming from Mark Espejo at 44%.
That was over received, but they will get another crack at it, and Jao Mandal takes care of business.
This is the better support that we are seeing here for the Cignal HD Spikers. Umandal is right there. Miguel lending support. Criss Cross once again needing Isay Marasigan to find this offensive groove to be another point of attack.
That will be out against Garcia. Miss hit. And Coach Tai Bundit will not waste a single second. He will call a timeout. Because Cignal HD has built a 4-point lead here, 10-6 in set number 4. Tremendous game, top to bottom, amazing drama, outstanding athleticism displayed by both these teams.
Lesser emotions here in this set.
More business-like is the attack coming from Cignal HD. But maybe because it's early, expect it to be dialed up a little later on when push comes to shove.
I'm just saying.
When we go down to the nitty-gritty here in the fourth set, Criss Cross hoping to stay alive and force another 5-setter. Well, Cignal wants to claim a 1-0 series lead right here in the fourth set. Wendell Miguel with the serve. They go to Garcia. Nasungkit ni Bugawan. That is dumped. Picked up by Miguel. Umandal. Connects.
Umandal off the hand of
Now the
Olvorosa.
floor defense is rock solid for Cignal HD.
Exactly. And then Jao Mandal has been sizzling here in set number 4. Better transition plays for the white shirts for another 5-point lead.
Miguel.
Miguel serving again. They go to the quick. That is long coming from Malabunga. So now the errors are piling up for Criss Cross.
Now remember that this team only had 8 attack
Criss
points.
Cross.
And that set 3 loss. And that was not going to be enough against a very good attacking team. And the Cignal HD Spikers, 117, doubling up.
Service. Miguel.
Coach Tai continuing to shuffle those middles up as Injiga checks back. That's a good
Garcia
point of
to the
attack
hand of
coming from
Silang.
Jude Garcia. Saw the blockers were closing in. Just rammed it through their arms to go out.
8-5 was the scoreline earlier, reaching the first technical timeout. Since that time, 4 points for the HD Spikers, 2 coming from Criss Cross.
Oh, that will be
Positional fault.
a rotation error
Big break,
coming
big
from
break.
Cignal HD. A free point for Criss Cross.
Big break here for Criss Cross.
Substitution. Criss Cross. 12 out.
Malabunga
Four.
checks back in
Malabunga.
quickly for serving purposes. As Cignal leads by 4.
Service. King. Malabunga.
Oh, Malabunga gives the point right
Plus
back
one for Cignal.
to Cignal HD.
Biggest lead enjoyed by the HD Spikers. Total service errors. Criss Cross with 12 after that last one by Kim Malabunga. HD Spikers with 16.
One hand set once again for Polvorosa.
Espejo.
And it's
Back
almost
rota.
like they're planning these things with Espejo connecting again.
I saw this for many years in the UAP. And every time they play together, they normally bring out the best in one another. One hand set to the pipe.
But you can see Mark Espejo trying to implore the guys on the bench to give those on the floor some energy.
Yes.
Ball is out.
Trying to bring out more positive emotions for them to get their shoulders up once again and fight more fiercely.
Because Criss Cross is looking a little bit tight here in the fourth set rather. Silang with the serve. Almost an ace there. Sumanggid with the effort to keep it alive. Bagunas will try to keep it in play. That would be a point for the King Crunchers.
Denied by Glorioso. 10-14.
Not much long rallies here so far in set number 4, unlike what we saw in that pivotal third set.
14-10. Garcia serving. This is Bagunas with a push. Nice dive from Marasigan. Oh! But they misunderstood who will be picking up the second
Ball
touch.
is in. 15.
As Marasigan turned into Ish Polvorosa.
Golden chance to have a 2-point run.
So Espejo should have been the guy to keep that ball alive. A serve now for Bagunas. That is way too long. Even if he has broken away from
the
that
jump set,
powerful
yes.
jump serve, still committing
Jump
the
serve,
errors.
sorry.
Back down to a 4-point advantage for Cignal HD. Glorioso with the serve. Good first ball to work with. Miguel
Miguel
scores
goes
again.
cross court.
You can say that Miguel has taken over the role of Isay Marasigan when Isay Marasigan used to be with the Cignal HD Spikers.
5-point lead for Cignal HD heading into the second technical timeout of the fourth
Second
set.
technical timeout, 16. Cignal, 11. Criss Cross.
Nakikita nila yung bakbakan na naman, and ayan, syempre finals na to, ibang usapan pag finals. Ayun.
Ginagawa lang din namin tong ganito para tumasin yung level ng volleyball sa Pilipinas, and also for the fans. Both teams parehong gustong manalo. Good luck sa amin pareho.
The will to win being employed, being displayed by Brian Bagunas for Cignal HD and Mark Espejo on the other side for the Criss Cross King Crunchers. But they're getting a lot of help from the rest of the squad as Guaza serves. It's over received. Miguel with back-to-back hits.
That's a big one. From a high of 5, went up to 6, which is the largest lead right now. And that came after the second technical timeout. And right now, beleaguered are the King Crunchers. What about the efficiency from the service line coming from Guaza?
JP Bugawan might be the team captain of the Cignal HD Spikers, but their emotional leader has been Wendell Miguel in this game. Big gap in that middle from the defense of Cignal HD, as the King Crunchers would score an important point courtesy of that quick from Malabunga.
They could not reach that 4-point barrier earlier. Tapos tumaas 6. Ang Kalamangan, naibaba sa 5 muli.
The
Shoot
push,
set.
the wipe is good for Bugawan.
Excellent swipe coming from Bugawan. And silang biting the bullet, throwing caution to the wind.
Cignal, 11 out.
Double substitution for Coach
Eto
Dexter
na.
Clamor.
Yep. And Josaphat once again getting his chance.
Mandalin Silang will take a breather. It's 18-12 in favor of Cignal HD. EJ Casanya has been steady from that service area. As they try to add on to this 6-point advantage. That is picked up. Miguel got a little bit greedy there. Marasigan was blocked. Now a try from Espejo. Picked up by Casanya. Montero sets it up. Bagunas in the back row.
Again, it's the defense of Wendell Miguel getting to that point from the back, coming from Bagunas. And Bagunas has been at his deadliest from the back row, from the 5 plays. And this is the final timeout called by Coach Tai Bundit. With his team down by 7.
This is a 7-point disadvantage. Here in the fourth set, King Crunchers will have to rally to stay alive in game 1. Brace yourselves as athletes and sports lovers have no-holds-barred conversations with Sean Ildefonso. Watch Sean Time exclusively on Pilipinas Live. Download and subscribe now. This has to be it, the final stand for the Criss Cross King Crunchers. 7-point disadvantage for them. Cignal oozing with confidence right now.
Really? And it's because the level of play has increased 2 notches higher here in the fourth. Nowhere close compared to the first 3 sets that we saw in terms of seesaw battle.
But again, they've shown us the ability to erase 4-point leads and 5-point leads in the first 3 sets. Now they'll have to extend that a little bit further. As Casanya serves again. They go to the back.
Oh, he
Much
tried,
needed point.
he tried to stay away from it.
Off the hand of Montero.
That will keep them at least in the conversation. A mighty hit coming from Garcia. But they're still down by 6. It has to be close to perfection from Criss Cross from here on out. That will not help. A service error coming from Marcus Espejo. Will give Cignal back that 7-point spread.
Costly. Down 7. Pinakamalaking lamang ito in any set that we have seen.
Sharp serve coming from Miguel. Polvorosa with a set from the back row again. That is off a check for Espejo.
14-20.
As expected, Espejo getting majority of the touches here in set 4 after only scoring 2 points in that set 3 loss.
Kim Malabon serving for Criss Cross.
Easily picked up by the King Crunchers. Was that attack? But the block
On the hit out.
is there. There might be a challenge here coming from Cignal. Because in their opinion,
Tumama kay Jude Garcia.
tumama pa dun sa depensa ng Criss Cross. Referee Herbert Matematico telling everyone to settle down. Talking to his lines
He's
judge.
been doing that since the first set, by the way.
Ball is out. Point and serve for Criss Cross.
So timeout will be called instead
HD Spikers.
by Cignal HD. They're still up by 5 here, 20-15, but you cannot write off the Criss Cross King Crunchers.
Never.
In the first set, it was 15-10.
Yes.
And then they scored 6 straight points.
For a 16-15 lead. And then Marcus Espejo, rather Brian Bagunas happened for the HD Spikers.
So as much as Cignal has looked to be in control, in command of this 4th set, momentum could turn in a
Just
snap
like
of
that.
a finger.
Remember, Cignal HD Spikers were up 2 sets to none. And that semis encounter only for Criss Cross to be able to win the last 3 sets and head into the finals.
Lorenzo with a good first ball. Bagunas!
Bagunas over
Look
the
at that
block.
front row. Bagunas now with 23. Espejo with 20. 23 points and 10 excellent receptions. Who scored over 40 points twice, by the way, in Taipei in the title run.
Over receive. Bagunas with a ball.
Bagunas.
Costly miscue on the part of Sumang. Anytime you talk about the finishing kick and end game of Cignal, it's always Marcus Espejo. Rather, Brian Bagunas doing damage against the Criss Cross.
They go to the middle. Nice dive from Miguel. Polvorosa with the first touch. Sumangid sets it up. Garcia sent back. Polvorosa there for the pickup. A lot of hesitation coming from the King Crunchers. But that attack will be a little bit long. Jude Garcia asking for a head coach challenge. And Coach Taibundit will listen. Because at this point, you might as well.
Ball out. Challenge number 1. Ball in, ball out.
Ball in,
Criss
ball out
Cross.
challenge on that last attack.
It was a 2-point run for Cignal after the scores to the 2015. And then Coach Dex called a timeout.
Cignal HD smelling blood in the water right now. They can feel it. They can sense it. A 1-0 advantage could be up for grabs in the next couple of minutes for them here in this best of 3. That will be in. That's on the line for Garcia.
Ball is in.
successful challenge for Coach Ty Bundit.
It's successful. Point and serve. Here's the Criss Cross. Now at 16 to 22. Substitution. Criss Cross.
22-16
8 out. 17.
is the count right now. But again, this will have to be a barrage of points, Coach, coming from the King Crunchers.
And a lot of miscues on the other end for it to materialize, really.
But there is still hope on the side of Criss Cross. Jewel Asia serving. Back to Bagunas.
Bagunas
Taking
finds
over.
the corner.
24 for Bagunas.
23.
A lot of them here in set number 4. It's
the
winning
double-
time. It's closing out time.
The double substitution once again for Coach Dex Lamor. Sian Silang, Jao Mandal. Back in the mix. And Silang will be serving. 23-16 is their lead. That was a good quick net violation as well coming from Guaza.
17 to 23.
It was simply tough when Cignal pulled away. You have to make them feel the tension and the pressure at least by staying close. Referring, of course, to the King Crunchers.
Jump serve coming from Garcia. Silang with a set. And that is Bagunas being sent back.
Well read.
Criss Cross hanging in there.
Staying alive. From 7, it's down to 5. Sabi ni Coach, start timeout.
Sabi ni Coach X, no thanks. 23-18. 5-point disadvantage still for the King Crunchers. They go to Amanda. That's wide.
Ball is out. 19 to 23.
Coach Dexter still refusing to call a timeout. Putting complete trust that his players can find a way to get that ball back on the side out.
Up 7, now down to 4.
Silang with the set. Guaza!
Guaza.
Wendell Miguel again. Helping out. Silang and Guasa has delivered time and again. What a weapon here in the finals. For a total of 5 set points, or 5 match points for the HD Spikers.
Loving the spotlight on him. Guaza delivering the goods for Cignal HD.
He has really embraced the moment.
Brian Bagunas, who's had his struggles from that service area, serving for the match. Asia with a set. Espejo will overcook it. That is long. Will it be challenged? Yes, it will be, of course, by Coach Ty Bundit.
There's a challenge on the floor by Criss Cross.
One last challenge to try and save.
Challenge number 1.
Espejo saying there was no touch.
One last ball in, ball out challenge for the Criss Cross King Crunchers. As they will continue to hope that this matchup will continue. Will it be out? Looks like it will be out, and that is it for game number 1.
It's clearly out.
Cignal HD Spikers
Cignal takes the set and the match.
will push ahead in this best-of-3 finals in your 2024 Spikers Turf Open Conference.
And you can be sure that this is not the last in terms of drama between these two elite teams. Nothing was easy in this win by the HD Spikers. It just so happened that in the 4th set there was a juggernaut and they pulled away and built a 7-point lead that was too tough to overcome, even for an elite team such as Criss Cross.
Cignal HD Spikers, in an effort to defend that Open Conference Championship, will build a 1-0 series lead against the Criss Cross King Crunchers.
Coliseum for your Spikers Surf 2024. And right now, I'm with the best player of this match. Walang iba kung hindi si Brian Bagunas. Brian, you continue to be the dominant guy para dito sa Cignal HD Spikers with 26 points and 23 attacks. Pero binigyan rin talaga kayo ng Criss Cross ng napakagandang challenge ngayong gabi. Anong masasabi mo dun?
Siyempre, sobrang natuwa ako sa performance ng team ko kasi kung ano yung tinraining namin, lumabas naman ngayong game. So, sana sa susunod naming game, mas taasan pa namin yung kung ano yung pagkukulang namin.
Napag-usapan mo yung teammates mo, credit din sa kanila. Maganda rin yung pinakita nila, lalo na si Jao at saka si JP. Pero sa tingin mo, ano pa yung mga dapat ayusin para ma-close out yung series sa Friday?
Siguro kailangan pa namin parang alam mo yun, kailangan pa namin mas i-perfect yung lalo na yung serve and receive. Kanina medyo nagkamali na naman kami sa mga serve. So kailangan pa namin i-polish yun. Yan. Ayun, binabati ko yung wife ko na nanonood and sa mga family ko sa Batangas and lalo na yung mga fans and sana nakikisuyo ako na clean as you go para sa climate change natin. Yun, thank you.
Maraming salamat and very nice. Brian Bagunas is the best player of this match. Balik sa inyo, Carlo, Coach Ronnie.
Maraming salamat, Miss Nika Besamis.
Huwag mo kalimutan, Clay, go.
Lilinisin ko lahat, Coach, ang naiiwan ko dito. Brian Bagunas spearheaded the attack. And it was not just the scoring mula kay Brian. Yung laban, yung gigil, pinakita niya. He showed that if, Criss Cross can play, the mind games that affected Cignal in that semifinals duel, pwede nilang gantihan. Gawin din yon here in Game 1 of the finals.
Ang laking bagay pag meron kang kasamang Brian Bagunas kasi he does lead by example. That's one. Number two, the composure is there. Hindi siya natatangay ng emotions niya. Just focuses on what needs to be done. Once again, offensive Cignal really better than CKC, especially in the last two sets. Umakyat na rin kahit paano yung antas ng kanilang offense, but not enough. +6, Cignal HD Spikers. Cignal HD Spikers keeping their errors to a minimum. And that was key as to why they were able to pull away and then by as much as 7. And really, the offense of the HD Spikers were more balanced, more collective effort from the likes of Wendell Miguel, Guaza, of course, Jesse Bugawan, and you cannot overlook Jao Mandal with very good contributions. And then you have Criss Silang, and then you have EJ Casanya, who helped out in terms of playmaking, in terms of making sure that the blocking of CKC was not way up there in this first match of the finals.
The puwis-buhay mentality of Jao Mandal. Of course, the emotional charge coming from Wendell Miguel, all helping out as we will play the second game of both the battle for third and the champion series back here inside the Rizal Memorial Coliseum on May 10. That will be this Friday.
It's a date.
Yep, Navy leading 1-0. Cignal HD leading 1-0 as well. As we thank you for joining us on One Sports Plus and Pilipinas Live. For Miss Mika Besamis, Coach Ronnie Magsano, ako po si Carlo Pimentuan. Men's volleyball here in the Philippines is about to enter another golden age, and it is because of these two teams, Cignal HD Spikers and Criss Cross King Crunchers, the defending champions. Draw first blood, leads the best of 3 series 1-0.